9 a.m. outside Manchester's Piccadilly station. Animal rights protesters are meeting for a day out in the country. They're the Hunt Saboteurs, but unknown to them, an undercover disguises reporter has joined their group. The Hunt followers gather to watch the pursuit of a fox. Confrontation is looming, some of it violent. Do they believe their sport can survive? Among them is another disguises reporter.
I'm not the fucking engine loser.
Shut the gate.
Shut the gate!
Come on, get off this land.
Reasonable force. Reasonable force.
Is that what's reasonable force, is it? I'm going to put someone on the floor and kick
Angry scenes like these are becoming common at fox hunts throughout Britain's countryside. To the hunters, their sport represents a way of life that's frequently misunderstood by badly informed outsiders. But to the saboteurs, hunting is an expression of man's worst treatment of animals and mustn't be allowed to continue. They think direct action is the answer. In this battle of the countryside, it's not just a fox's life at stake. Tonight, Kate Stone and Neil Henderson reveal both sides of a war that's already claimed one human life. Our two disguises investigators will run with the fox and ride with the hounds.
After a series of telephone calls and animal rights meetings, I'm about to take my first lesson in hunt sabotage. Saboteurs are always wary of spies, whether from the police or the hunt. I'm all the more tense in case I get spotted. I may look like an urban guerrilla, but this is regulation dress for saboteurs, or as they call themselves, sabs. The people I'm going to join aren't rent-a-mob. Some of them are students, but there are nurses, a computer expert, and an electronics engineer. What unites these people is a profound hatred of hunting. In an organisation that's almost military in its precision, we'll use hired vans and meet with other like-minded activists from all over the country.
I don't know where the other van is, but that one's North London, so...
Then we'll travel into Cheshire, where several hunts are based. It's also the place where a hunt saboteur died during a protest nearly 2 years ago, so it's specially targeted by the campaigners who want to mark the second anniversary of the tragedy. 18-year-old saboteur Mike Hill was killed in an accident with a pickup truck driven by huntsman Alan Summersgill.
Scum! Scum! Scum!
2 days later, a demonstration outside his home turned to violence. A Granada television news crew was bundled away by protesters to prevent them filming the attack on the house. 6 people were later jailed for their part in the incident. The hunt saboteurs remain embittered, despite the coroner's verdict of accidental death on Mike Hill and the authorities finding that there was no case against Mr. Summersgill.
It's early on a Saturday morning and I'm driving into the country to attend a meet of the Cheshire Foxhounds. Hunt followers are suspicious of outsiders. Will they be suspicious of me? I want to know what kind of people spend the best part of their weekends watching and supporting a hunt. If you're not a local, finding the hunt can be difficult. I arrive just as the riders are setting off. A hunt official is videoing the arrival of the saboteurs. They're an unwelcome sight for the hunt and its supporters, but in Cheshire the protesters' presence is now routine. The hounds have barely started their day's work before the saboteurs try to intervene.
I am escorting you off. Come on. I am escorting him off with his horn. You. No way. Okay.
Now this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong.
Yeah.
This is private land, and those people are just walking wherever they want.
Without permission.
Without permission. Those people on horses have permission. They're doing a lawful.
Well, it's nothing
thing.
unlawful, is it?
It's perfectly lawful. They are breaking the law.
Yeah.
Now get off.
We're not sorry, my friend.
Don't touch me.
Well, I'll do one or two things in a minute.
Landowners and their agents are allowed to use reasonable force to expel trespassers. But just what is reasonable is a matter of opinion.
Get off him, man. You are not using reasonable force. Get your hands off him. Well, get your hands off. Get your hands off him. Can you arrest someone like that? Get your hands off him, all right? Take him away then.
Yeah, take him away.
Stay away. Take him away.
Are you going to do your tone?
Yes or no?
Bring the sergeant to Come on. Now I've got you this
Take
time.
him away.
I've got you this time. Look, now I'm the landowner.
Look, you take a get off him, all right?
Don't try anything with me.
I have asked you
Take him away, lads.
Will you
Take him away. Take him away.
Come on, boys. We've asked you nicely.
Now.
Calm down, we don't be hitting anybody else.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be violent.
Leave the land. No. Right, let's stop fighting now. Right, calm it down. We'll come back at the hunt. The hunts have left. They're only delaying. Just go. They're only delaying. Just go. Good. Well, please. No, look at you.
The hunt is determined to carry on with its sport, but the presence of the fox is almost incidental as the saboteurs keep up the pressure.
Get off this land! Get off this land! Get off this land! Get him on the field, they're beating him up there! They're beating him up! They're beating him up!
Get off this land, you
Beating him up!
2 minutes, I'm going to ask you politely to leave
You've been asked to leave the land.
Now, if you don't...
I've been beaten and told to
Have you really?
Pardon?
Where's the mark?
Where's
Got
the
any of
mark?
these?
No, I haven't.
Well, where's your...
I'm not stupid enough to put my face in the way
Oh,
of
well,
anything.
don't do it.
You're right.
Yeah, go on, we're all right.
You've just assaulted him on a public footpath.
Have we?
Yes.
Where's the footpath? You show me where the footpath is, and I'll agree with you or disagree.
In fact, it's not a footpath.
Come on.
Will you leave the land?
Leave the lads. Come on.
Don't you touch me!
I'd just like to tell you that it is an offence
I'd have looked at you.
for
not an
people to
offence.
stop a huntsman going about his normal duty.
Have you got any proof of that? Have you got any court cases?
It is written
I've
down.
been stabbing hunts for 10 years.
Good for you.
I've been blowing hunts for 10 years. I've never once been arrested for it. I've done it in front of police.
You probably won't be arrested
You
today.
are talking out of your
It is an
arse.
offence.
The police arrive, but there are too few of them to keep the sides apart and under control. Tempers continue to flare.
Come on, lads, let's
Shut the gate.
Go on! Private property, all of it!
Mind that horse.
Mind yours, shut! What?
We have used reasonable force.
Right, we'll pitch up big freeze and roll down
Remove
here.
you.
My horse can't help you if you're fighting it.
In that case, you shouldn't be on a public highway.
You shouldn't be on a bloody horse. You don't have horses for him. So that's all right when one of your chaps goes and hits a young lady in the face and then takes his hat off. Well, I saw it.
I had no warning of this. He came up from behind. I don't even know really who... I was talking to one guy and he just went... Some guy came up behind me and just belted me. Move along, got hospital.
A senior police officer finds himself taking a crash course in countryside diplomacy.
I'm going to let you make your own assessments from what your officers
what
are
mine,
saying today. I believe you should be having the same rules.
Well, I intend to have this. In fact, I've just been speaking to one of them, as you well know. I've also made it quite clear, and make no secret about it now, is that the same applies to them. They have a lawful right to hunt. You have a lawful right to peacefully demonstrate. Neither side have got to go over the top, and the difficulty is when that situation begins to arise. What we've got now is an allegation from your side. Yes, we've got an allegation. We've got an allegation from the other side this morning. What I'd ask you to do is to disperse and, by all means, demonstrate, but do it peacefully.
At the end of the hunt, the followers repeat some bizarre rumours about the saboteurs.
Well, would you get out on a Saturday morning and do this if you weren't getting paid for it? I don't want the car to be running around fields, causing a nuisance and disturbing everybody else's way of life. For nothing.
One chap was speaking to a lad, he was on a horse, and he says, why are you here? What do you do this for? And he said, don't know, he said, but I can't afford to live on what I get. I'm a student. He said, I get paid for this. He said, pay me more than what they're paying me, and I'll come on your side.
Well, who do you think pays them? They college or...?
They just... You've got no absolute evidence of who pays, but it is there. They are being paid.
My first day as a hunt follower has shown me how much effect the saboteurs are having. They have created a siege mentality amongst the hunt supporters. Even just by turning up to watch the hunt means that people are suspicious of me. They think that I might be a saboteur, or as they call it, an anti in disguise. I have been photographed, videotaped, been asked for my name and address, and even had my car number taken. The hunt is on the defensive.
But they're just making life impossible, aren't they? Well, they say they're going to stop hunting in Cheshire, but I think the Cheshire Huns have got to fight them, haven't they?
Are they really saying that?
Oh, yes.
I'm waiting for a packed lunch and 25 quid, I think they give me,
No,
is
I
it?
think they give.
Because they pay them.
£40.
30
Oh, Lord, yes.
But today's the anniversary of this bloody fool who killed himself on the Beagle trailer. Nothing to do with Hounds, mind you, but...
I read something about that.
Well, 2 years ago, he was the Beagles, which are based out at Kinnerton, the other side, Chester. He was trying to... He got in his van with his trailer and hounds behind, and he tried to pull the pin on the trailer. And he got unfortunately underneath the wheels of the trailer, and it killed him, you see. He died in hospital, so of course they've got him as a martyr.
Mike Hill's death gives the Sabs an extra reason to continue their efforts in Cheshire. This year, they're marking the 2nd anniversary of the tragedy with an all-out protest. It'll bring Sabs together from across the country to try to stop the Cheshire foxhounds from hunting. Saboteurs don't get paid. In fact, they're expected to chip in for petrol. But we do get free legal advice from a more experienced Sab.
I turn up at the advertised time and place for the hunt's meet, but there's no sign of them. I decide to ask around.
We started at 10 o'clock to avoid
problems.
any trouble. Police say nothing about anything from the public.
Well, we've been driving around trying to find them, and all we've seen and spoken to is police.
Yeah, because they picked up the antis on the Norfolk bypass. 2 crooks on.
What do you mean, pick them up?
Over the radio, somebody spotted them.
When I do catch up with the hunt, I find that they have hired a team of private security men as stewards. The Sabs are soon on the scene.
At the vehicle. I think we're going to go down there.
Can you come down here?
The huntsmen decide to try to decoy the protesters into the wrong stretch of woodland. Saboteurs, hunt stewards and police all record the events in case of later legal action.
Video them watching us, watching them watching us, you know? Good game, this. VHF must be making a fortune of video.
The police have turned out in greater numbers, and they're blocking roads and even footpaths to keep the two sides apart.
To make him a breach of the peace or a breach of the peace may be committed.
What's your reasonable suspicion then that that's only committed?
Because you're not answering any of my questions. What are you doing here? Why would you like to go down there?
Because I'd like to go and see what's down there.
What's in particular?
I'd like to go and see the Hounds down there.
For what reason?
To the Sabs, the roadblocks are a breach of their civil liberties. The officers come in for some abuse from my fellow activists.
Wait at the end or on the road.
Are you joking? It's a public highway.
Sorry?
What you want? What should the law you're posting that we're not allowed to go down? Excuse me.
You're on very bad wages for what you do.
What the law you're posting that we're not allowed to go down the public highway?
How much you get paid to be a fascist?
But saboteurs on foot can evade a cordon. Once we're out of the van, we're told to stick together. That's because stewards are more wary when Sabs are in a group, and there's less chance of arrest. Then into the fields for a long trek across mud, hedges, fences and gates. It's an assault course. Somehow we must connect with the hunt. The Sabs' tactics are aimed at catching up with the hounds and distracting them from picking up a scent. Huntsmen use horns to control the pack, so the Sabs use horns as well. There's a more high-tech method too, using a tape of the hounds in full cry and a megaphone. This device can work at long range. It's hard work because the hunt moves faster than we do. The Sabs have CB radios to keep in touch with each other, and they try to get a fix on where the hunt is from moment to moment. Eventually we catch them, but we're just a little too slow, possibly because after a cross-country hike of several miles, we're too tired to keep up. There's a mass charge by the Sabs in a last attempt at confrontation. But the hunt moves off down a road and the police seal it after them. This Sab breaks the cardinal rule, which is to do everything together and stay in the group. She's later released without charge. The Sabs are tired and angry.
Pathetic police operation I've ever seen in all my life. Pure hunt support. Go on, how'd your head and shake? You're disgusting. You really are. I've seen it all now. You're disgusting. You're the pits. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm getting a taste of the paranoia that surrounds hunting. I'm a new face and I've attracted suspicion. The hunt supporters in this pub decide I'm a Sab, and humiliatingly, I'm made to feel most unwelcome.
Door, please.
Please leave.
I'd like to know why.
Because private property. Would you please go out?
I thought this was a pub.
Yes, it's my pub. Thank you. Bye.
Out.
Out. Out.
Is it a private function going on, or is this a public house?
You're against the hunt, aren't you?
No, we're following the hunt.
You're following the hunt?
Yes, we haven't seen anything all day.
She's not. She's following the hunt.
Out through the door, please.
Are they, boss? In no way at all.
I've been following the hunt for the last 3 weeks.
Please go.
Are you empty? You're not going to
No, not at all. Everybody is very suspicious of people they don't know. Why?
Please go. Please go.
Well, no, this really angers me.
It angers me. Please go.
Well, you understand how we feel.
Well, you don't know.
I'm quite happy to pay my subscription to be a hunt follower. I mean, why?
Please leave. Is there any visitors now? I don't want it. I know.
My time as a hunt follower is over, but I'll be back.
After the day's action, the Sabs meet to discuss the events, swap stories and play football.
Policeman was trying to stop us, block us off the road, and we just fucking drove straight through. Then he knocked him over.
They're killing her.
I don't think so, really. I didn't. I haven't heard any.
I have no idea. People weren't with them for so long. There's no way of knowing.
I mean, they got away for a couple of hours, didn't they?
At least most of the day, really.
I've met the hunt supporters, but what about the huntsmen themselves? To see things from their point of view, I've abandoned my undercover role to ride with them. People have travelled from the other side of the country to attend this meet. At least part of the attraction is social. There's a strong camaraderie amongst the riders. Hunting is dangerous and not just for the fox. Riders test both their horses and their nerve. One of the attractions of hunting is its unpredictability, even when there are no antis about. I've had a few riding lessons, but a strong drink is very welcome before setting out. Hunters say their sport isn't just for the landed classes, but these specially bred horses can cost thousands of pounds to buy. I've hired mine for the day for £75. Not everybody is here just to kill a fox. Many enjoy an exhilarating gallop across country. It's certainly exciting, but also terrifying. What the hunting set call popping a few fences is often a leap into the unknown. It's a test of courage and skill, and I'm grateful not to fall off. A fox is flushed from cover. The hounds are onto its scent, but today it's lucky. Hunters are a tough bunch, undeterred by a sudden spell of bad weather. It's not surprising that they've held the saboteurs off for so long. The hunt finishes without a kill, and not a saboteur in sight.
I'm sabbing again, this time in North Staffordshire, and there's more trouble.
Not here, you're not allowed on this land.
These two groups simply can't exist in the same space without someone losing their head. The potential for violence is always there.
Take gospel, it's pride. Piss off. It's pride. What? You're going to do something about it. I've got something in your hand, have you? That's good, isn't it?
I'm not you with it.
That's good, isn't it?
You fucking psychopathic lunatic!
Psychopath!
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Who?
You're cool, you fucking
Pride.
psycho.
Pride. It's pride. Leave.
Let's get open.
By force of numbers, the Sabs get their way. Only constant and heavy policing can prevent the sides from trying to settle scores. It's expensive. When the public tires of paying for it, either hunting or hunt sabotage will be banned. One of the more experienced Sabs told me that the heavy policing and the hunt's need to employ stewards means the protesters are winning. The strategy is to create so many public order problems that hunting is driven underground. The Sabs believe victory is in sight.
The hunters believe their sport is being misunderstood by outsiders with no experience of the countryside. So they will continue to defend their traditions because to admit defeat spells the end of their way of life.